For years, China's pressure campaign against Taiwan was easy to see. Fighter jets crossed the Taiwan Strait median line. Large military exercises surrounded the island. Warships and aircraft regularly appeared near Taiwanese territory. But in 2026, something has changed. China is still pressuring Taiwan, but it is using different tools. According to recent reports, Beijing is reducing some of its highly visible military activities while increasing diplomatic and political pressure on Taiwanese President William Lai. The goal appears to be the same: weaken Taiwan's position. The methods, however, are evolving. New data shows a noticeable decline in Chinese military activity around Taiwan compared to last year. Through May 2026, Taiwan recorded an average of 5 Chinese military aircraft crossing the Taiwan Strait median line each day. That is only about half the number recorded during the same period in 2025. In March, China went 7 straight days without sending a fighter jet near Taiwan. That was the longest such pause ever recorded outside of typhoon season. This is a sharp contrast from 2024, when China sent as many as 153 aircraft near Taiwan in a single day during major military operations. So far this year, Beijing has not conducted any large-scale military exercises around Taiwan. At first glance, this may look like a reduction in pressure. But many analysts believe China is simply changing tactics rather than reducing pressure. Instead of relying primarily on military demonstrations, China is increasingly using Coast Guard, survey, and civilian government vessels. Last week, China's Ministry of Transport conducted patrols east of Taiwan for the first time. The operation involved survey ships and Coast Guard vessels rather than fighter aircraft or warships. Beijing used these patrols to reinforce its territorial claims while avoiding the dramatic images associated with military exercises. At the same time, China has expanded its activities across the wider First Island chain, including areas near Japan and the Philippines. This suggests Beijing is broadening its regional pressure campaign while avoiding actions that could generate excessive international attention. While military pressure has become less visible, China's campaign against Taiwanese President William Lai has intensified. Since taking office, Lai has become one of Beijing's primary political targets. Chinese officials view him with particular suspicion because of his past support for Taiwanese self-determination. According to analysts, Beijing's current strategy focuses on isolating Lai internationally and limiting his ability to gain support abroad. The objective is not only to pressure Taiwan, it is to weaken Lai politically before Taiwan's next presidential election in 2028. Several experts believe China hopes that reducing Lai's international visibility could hurt his domestic standing over time. One of the most striking parts of this strategy involves foreign media organizations. Reports indicate that Chinese authorities have taken action against media outlets that interviewed President Lai. After Agence France-Presse published an interview with Lai, China reportedly expressed dissatisfaction and later restricted access for AFP journalists covering major political events. Japan's Nikkei newspaper reportedly faced pressure after interviewing Lai in 2024, with visa applications for some journalists encountering difficulties afterward. The New York Times also announced that reporter Vivian Wang was expelled from China following controversy surrounding an interview with Lai conducted by a colleague. China argues that foreign media should not provide platforms for what it considers separatist narratives. Beijing says any actions challenging the One China principle will face consequences. China's efforts extend beyond the media. Reports suggest Beijing has worked to complicate some of Lai's planned international travel. Unlike previous Taiwanese presidents, Lai has not yet completed a transit through the United States during his first term. His planned travel has reportedly faced delays. A proposed visit to Africa also encountered obstacles after what reports describe as a diplomatic effort by Beijing to limit access to international airspace. Earlier this month, China also sanctioned lawmakers from New Zealand after they traveled to Taiwan. Taken together, these actions point to a broader effort to reduce Lai's international engagement. China's campaign against Taiwan is not disappearing. It is evolving. Military aircraft may be appearing less frequently, but diplomatic pressure, media restrictions, travel obstacles, and international isolation efforts are becoming more prominent. For President William Lai, the challenge is no longer only military deterrence. It is maintaining Taiwan's international visibility in the face of a growing political and diplomatic campaign from Beijing. The question now is whether this new strategy will be more effective than the military pressure campaigns of previous years. That answer could have major consequences not only for Taiwan, but for the wider Indo-Pacific region. This is APRI Network. Thank you for watching.